I'm on full screen. I hate this full screen business. That's something I need to fix tonight. Alright, we're in game though. Time to stop bitching. Time to start casting. To the bottom right hand side is going to be our blue Protoss player from Splice. Give it up for stats. Obviously, both of these players are now qualified for the WardiTV weekly Season 1 finals. And we will be very happy to have them with us. But today, right now, this finals is basically a $50 best of 5 now. So they've both qualified, and now they play for $50 as the first place prize. To the bottom left hand side of the map, our red Zerg player is going to be Dark. And this could be pretty awesome. Dark stats best of 5. In fact, you know, this is one of these series you sort of dream about sometimes. This should be really, really good. Looking forward to it as we get set and ready to go. So yeah, it looks as though for now, dare I say it, but it looks as though for now our dropped frames are stabilized, and it looks as though we're not dropped any for a while, so looks as though looks as though we're stabilizing. So obviously sorry for it was not kind of a very enjoyable experience at the end of the PvP. Hopefully we'll be okay towards the end of this now, and hopefully we are allowed to cast our finals in peace. As we set up though, we're going to see a hatch gas pool here from Dark in the start of this ZvP. Game number 1 of the series, and we're just going to be seeing this probe, having a little bit of a scout early to see what's up and to see what's going on. Bottom right hand side of the map, I mean, not really much going on from stats just yet. We're going to see the Nexus is coming up to being about halfway done. And the Cyber Core coming up to being about halfway done as well. So, nothing really crazy here. Gate Nexus Core, very standard Protoss build order. I'm really ready to see what the tech choices are going to be in the next minute or two. Dark and starts best of 5 with GSL now. Yeah, boys. This is officially the GSL WardiTV cross event. Now, it is pretty sick that we get to see all these players playing in these events nowadays, though. I'm very glad that we can run events to get these players to take part in as well. It's fantastic. So, it's really, really, really awesome. And of course, thank you guys for tuning in, supporting, and all the rest of it as well. Special shout outs to the subs who definitely do make this all possible, and to anyone who donates, anyone who supports the stream at all. Even if you just watch the ads and the ad breaks, greatly appreciated. You're saving esports. You're making these games happen, quite literally. We're starting up here, and just going to be seeing the probe just pulling back over to the right hand side, and do see the adept moving across to the left hand side from stats as well. So a little bit of scouting here early on. Pneumatized Carapace starting up, and Link Speed will finish shortly from Dark. Just going into the 3 bases here though, Newkirk Precinct. Nothing too crazy, nothing too ridiculous. And stats just going to be moving around a little bit if there's a depth to see what's up and see what's going on. A couple of gates added on here as well. So a couple of gates coming down, and again Resonant Glaze just starting up and getting ready to go. So depth does shade on back, and is going to come back home, and I mean, just glaives-based opening. We haven't seen many glaive-based openings today, so nice to see something a little bit different in game number 1 already in this PvZ. Nice to see something a little bit different to usual. So, going to be setting up into this. These adepts shading across through the center of the map, and we are just going to be seeing them again continuing over to the left-hand side, and just going to be seeing a few more roaches, a couple of Zerglings from Dark, continuing to come on in right now. Glaives is about 75% of the way done. And we're just going to be seeing this Overlord from Dark as just continue to move on in towards the main base. So Overlord continue to move in towards the main. We see these adepts starting to shade over to the left hand side. I'm just going to join up with these adepts that are already here in the center, which makes it about 7 or 8 in total. And that's the kind of a number of adepts you're expecting to see at this sort of point. A few Ravagers morphing in, actually. Interested to see how they fare against the adepts, because yeah, they'll do a bit more damage, but they'll also take a bit more damage a little bit more quickly. So that could be a little bit weird here as we just see the adepts continue to shade on up, and more Lings on the way as well. I don't think they're really going to get too much done in the end. As we see the first few Zerglings starting to go down, and some more Lings popping up though means that you'll continue to be able to tank. And now the adepts will actually shade passing towards the main, but there's some more Zerglings. And well, even if Glaives finish, the Lings will, I guess not clean up, but they'll do a good job, and adepts take some pretty heavy damage. I mean, maybe just stays in the main base now and just ends up getting some drone kills, I guess. 4 or 5 workers going down here. Ravagers will continue to clean up the last few of these adepts, so last few adepts getting taken down, and 6 workers killed. Actually, overall, not bad, considering he killed off a whole bunch of Zerglings as well. But Dog is obviously not really intended on kind of keeping a good drone count anyway, because look at this, he's continued to make units past what he needed to defend these Adepts, and so now he's starting to go across over to the right-hand side of the map. So moving on over to the right-hand side, these Zerglings all gathering up together. I'm going to see a couple of Adepts, some sentries, and a Stalker from Stats just sat towards the third base. He's got overcharges ready to go. Is it going to be enough, though? In fact, he's only got one initially. I'm going to see the Lings going towards the natural Ravagers ready as well. Where are the rest of the Ravagers and Roaches? A little bit far back. Not really here just yet, so he's not really ready to fight, and that might just slow him down a little bit too much and allow Stats to get into a little bit of a better position right now. Corrosive bars go down, and the Adept does fall, as we see the Zerglings taken down pretty swiftly. I mean, if Dog doesn't do damage with this, he's in trouble, because he's really far behind on workers. He's committed a lot of units to this, but he's not doing anything. He's killed 2 probes, and now those Zerglings are all cleaned up. I mean, he's still got these Ravagers over here, but I feel another overcharge towards the front will do more than enough, and there is that overcharge and a nice actual force field as well. Traps in a couple of Roaches and even picks up a Ravager in the meanwhile, and this is going to be just such a simple defense from Stats. I mean, not simple, but it's really it is nice. It's a solid cleanup. He doesn't really lose a lot. It's not simple, but he makes it look very easy because he barely loses anything at all. Great defense by Stats, and that is going to be Stats again putting himself in a bit of a better position from this point. I do see Dark is going to be going into a couple more Ravagers. I mean, back at home, Bane Nest on the way up as well, and an Evo Chamber will probably just go for the melee upgrades and in towards kind of Ling Bane Ravager as the playstyle here as the game continues. So, set up into this, there's the +1 melee starting on up, and there's the Forge on the way down from Stats as well. So, the Forge sets on up here, a couple of gates will finish very soon as well. We'll look at Stats' army moving across the map. He realizes how aggressive Dark just was, and he's not going to give Dark the time he needs to drone up to a comfortable amount. He's going to start pressuring, forcing units, and if he can, force a fight, which might just win him the game at this point. Whoops, in a couple more Adepts, and I mean, there's only one Immortal as kind of a real tech-heavy unit in this, but there's so many Adepts, the Lings will melt. Not sure how much the Ravagers are going to do either, unless the Corrosive Bars connect, which generally doesn't tend to happen in these sort of scenarios when Stats is playing. He's generally pretty good. Force Fields having to come down to block the Banes, and honestly, he does block the Banes well enough. I mean, a couple Banes connect, but really only a couple, and Dark Supply just disappears. Newkirk Precinct seems to be going the way of Stats right now. You'll see those Adepts going to turn once again, going to go towards those Ravagers and continue to chase on down, and they're going to pop on top of them. That's going to be goodbye to a couple more Zerglings. Goodbye to that Ravager. GG is called. Stats picks up game number 1 of this best of 5. We're back in this time slot. We will overlap a little bit with GSL, unfortunately. But we'll be back. We'll be live when GSL is over, I imagine. And you guys can check us out then. And we'll be live with the second qualifier for the WardiTV weekly Season 1 finals. So you can basically catch the same event as what's been today on Wednesday. So I'll see you guys then for that. Should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. Smiley faces and all the rest. Should be really good, actually. Really looking forward to the second qualifier too. If today's anything to go by, well, we definitely should look forward to it, right? So that's going to be on Wednesday, and then I'm also going to do a sponsor stream with Drop Zone on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, I go to LAN. I'm going to be at LAN Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. When we return on Monday, we'll be back into all the rest of the this WardiTV Season 1 finals, and so much more. To the top left-hand side of game number 2 on Abyssal Reef is going to be the blue Protoss player. From Splice, it is Stats, and he's going to drop down the Nexus first here on Abyssal Reef to get off to a nice, solid, economic-focused start. And down to the bottom right-hand side, the red Zerg, it is going to be Dark, who just opens Hatch Gas Pool in the very early stages on Abyssal Reef. Again, if you're enjoying the stream as well, and you do want to do that a little bit more than just hitting follow and watching ads and so on, do feel free to subscribe. Great way to support the stream, the events you're watching as well, all made possible for people who sub. And also, feel free to donate as well. Donations generally go towards the studio office rent, which is what allows me to basically cast kind of all the time without pissing off my parents and stuff. So that's what we put the donations towards. So check out those options if you are, if you're enjoying a lot, if you're really having a good time. Consider it. Obviously, you never have to, but if you do enjoy, it's always appreciated, and it does go a long way towards helping us stay as a full-time streamer, casting all the time. So we stand up here in this ZvP, and we just wait to see kind of what is going on over the next few moments. I guess nothing too exciting for the immediate future. You're going to see Link Speed starting up on this spawning pool in the back. I mean, to be expected. You're going to see Dark continue to mine gas, which is also quite interesting. We'll see what he does with that. I mean, he's on a fairly fast free base, so it doesn't look to be too aggressive, but maybe just Pneumatized Carapace, maybe a faster lair-based opening. There's a few different options here for Dark, as we do see two Zerglings starting to split up, going in a couple different directions, seeing where they can go. Stalker on the way out from stats as well. We're going to see from the gateway opening, actually, did he only go one gate? He did, so very greedy opening from stats overall. Didn't go for the 2 gates and apply pressure or anything. Just 1 gate into the core, pops down the Stargate nice and early, and his tech is just setting it up, so we'll see where he goes with that. Obviously, I mean, one of the main options is probably going to be the Oracle. A couple of Oracles have been very popular on this map as of late, actually, just Stargate openings in general. It's quite a large map, and I guess before the run-by paths as well, kind of mutilating is definitely a possibility when it comes to tech choices and composition choices of the Zerg player. And so if you already have a Stargate up, it's a really good way to start countering what I guess could be a very good map for Mutalisks by having an ability to go into Phoenix early. We might even see him build some Phoenix as well, depends what he wants to do. For now, just is going to be that first Oracle, which again, most commonly will just lead into a second Oracle, and taking a fairly quick third base. Evo Chamber coming up from Dark, and probably just melee upgrades from him early on as well. Probably expecting Lingbane, and especially on a larger map, Lingbane really has been the kind of playstyle that's come to fruition as of late for Zerg players. It's allowed them to really be aggressive, it's allowed them to hit counterattacks, and it's actually pretty good at taking straight up fights as well as the game continues, because you can, as long as you do it right, and you do have to do it right, you can hit the correct, you can hit the transitions which allow you to go into the later game from Lingbane. I mean, it is an aggressive composition. It is designed to keep kind of the Protoss army count low and to keep you in a good, to keep on fighting, to keep on trading for a while. But it's got those transitions available as well. If you go for Hydras, you can go into Lurkers. If you just stick on mostly Lingbane Ravager, you can go in towards the Hive Tech and a Great Aspire as the game goes by as well. So basically a lot of different options is what I'm trying to say for both players at the early stages of Abyssal Reef. We just saw the one Oracle, and he's going to very quickly follow that up with a Twilight Council, Resonating Glaives once again. I wonder if with the Glaives he's going to be going for the, I wonder if he's going to go for the Phoenix. And do you wonder if he goes for the Phoenix right now? Because something you see quite often with the Glaives, when you see the, something you see quite often with the Glaives when you do see the Stargate up is lots of Phoenix so that the Adepts can clean up, say, Zerglings and so on, and the Phoenix come in and lift up larger units such as Queens and Roaches and take them out of the equation. These Adepts shading fours, though, not going to have the best of times. This Oracle not going to do much either. I mean, there's not even Glaives finished yet, so I'm not sure what this attack is meant to be from stats, because he's just going to lose every single one of those Adepts very, very convincingly. Dark, plenty of units there, and I do wonder, actually, Dark might very well go for the Baneling burst attack here. He may go across the map and just morph in a bunch of Banes and just hit with this +1 melee. We saw it a little bit early on today by Guru against Mana a couple of times. Looks as though Dark's doing a kind of a nice crisp execution of it right now as he comes in. Well, he's going to start picking off this pylon. He's got dropping over to the right side. Isn't using the Bane nest just yet. There we are. Some Banes starting to morph in now. Back away and wait for those Banes to finish up then, I guess. He's actually already got some Queens here as well, so he's really going to go for this. Dark going to have a little bit of everything all over the place right now as he sets up to go for this fight. Here come the Queens then from across the map in the Overlord. We saw Dark harassing with the Queens in the ZvT earlier against Ally. And, no, sorry, it was against Bunny, wasn't it? And, well, here we come with the Banelings. They actually just crashed down the pylon first, which is nice still. I mean, the pylon is a big source of damage. You're going to see Queens trying to chase with the Overlord. Want to get rid of that Mothership Core, but honestly, there's no more pylons here anyways. Bane's connecting once again. Mothership Core goes down in stats. Looks as though he's starting to hurt a little bit here. More Lings and more Banes continue to do the job that they need to get done, which is working their way through the Adepts. And, well, now the Zerglings are going to get rid of this third Nexus as well. Stats loses 17 workers here. The Nexus will fall. And all of a sudden, this is going to be Dark putting himself into a very, very good position. Another Queen going down. Lings coming forwards once again. And a few more Lings over to the right-hand side, picking off another Adept or so. Adept shade on through, and they are going to be coming out over towards the natural expansion. Are there still Queens in the Overlord? No, they're Banelings now, so Baneling drops coming in. I mean, stats is going to kind of just about clean up. Let's see what this last couple of Bane drops can do, as we're going to see a Bane starting to unload. They swap Overlords. How interesting. I mean, to be fair, I don't know if Stats really knows what's in what Overlord anymore. It's been a little bit hectic the last few moments. They still have a Queen and some Zerglings going in towards the main base now. Dark only 6 workers ahead after all is said and done, but he's setting up into a 4th base. And killing off the third is one of the real kind of, is one of the largest advantages he's probably taken here. As we see the Adepts just joining up together. Phoenix, sorry, not Phoenix, Probes are splitting up a little bit, and Queen and a couple of Lings in the main just working their way through an assimilator. Some Probes coming in to help out. Some Archons coming into play, though, and that will definitely help stats in terms of counter-attacking. I mean, I think it's a counter-attack or die right now for him. But 11 Roaches on the way up from Dark. It feels as though he's still got plenty. He still needs no third expansion, so he knows he doesn't want to drone up too much. Just wants to keep on making units enough to make sure you can shut this down. And yeah, I think he's going to be able to... he's just going to be able to shut this down, no problem. I mean, 3 Archons and a few Adepts. It's not scary at this point of the game, is it? No, not really. Not when there's so many Banes and Roaches up. There's Lings coming across the map as well. There's actually Queens and Lings already going into the natural expansion. Here comes more of them. And there's just going to be even more damage being done. Probes will pull in to try and help out. I mean, it's also just a distraction to stats, so his attack takes a little bit longer to come, so there's even more units coming out at home to keep on defending. Finally, that Queen does go down. It will float into Happy Queen land. And as these units continue to push forward some stats, I mean, what else is there really left over at all? Really not much, as you're going to be seeing these Roaches and Banes just going to push on through. And again, I mean, this attack was always going to be a little bit scary, but at the end of the day, it was also going to come down to the fact that there's just going to be so much for Dark. GG. And we're tied up 1 apiece in this best of 5. And now, this best of 5, just because they have the chance to play the best of 5 for $50, obviously, after qualifying. Or coming through so many rounds already. May as well finish it off, so let's see how this goes. Game number 3. And we have to the bottom left-hand side of Proxima Station, our blue Protoss player from Splice. Give it up, guys, if you're going to be cheering on stats. You just unfortunately lost out in game number 2. Just was not quite ready for that Ling Bane aggression. It kind of came down to just losing the Adepts as well, I think. I mean, he lost 5 Adepts of 3 in the middle of the map. I mean, you can't just lose 5 Adepts for nothing, especially when you're building into Glaives. You know, that's like a huge investment loss, such an early point of the game, so... Top right-hand side, the red Zerg player is going to be Dark. He comes in here, and he is obviously just the player who just tied things up, so keeping this competitive. In game 3 of the series, we'll see what's going to happen now. Hatch gas pool once again. Nexus in towards a gateway and a cyber core. So once again, Nexus first. I want to say, well, pretty much just setting up in towards the setting up in towards kind of the same build as last time, I suppose. Caster taking longer time break than the start of the game, yes, because believe it or not, sometimes the casters have to BRB, go to the toilet, get a drink, rest their voice a moment or two. And believe it or not everything happens in the first minute of the game. That's completely crucial to you guys seeing it. And also, we need to run ads, otherwise the events wouldn't exist. Hashtag salty Wardy. Sorry, I'm passive-aggressive today because of all the stream issues. I'm just waiting for the day we have a fucking stream where we don't have any issues. Like, it feels like it's been like years since we had a stream with no issues at all. It's crazy. Fed base being blocked here right now by not just the Palm, but then the Cybernetics core as well, so Stats obviously feeling like it's worthwhile to invest into this, but Dark, well, he's just going for a very fast lair, bypasses Zergling in speed. Lair comes up very, very early on. Gonna be interesting to see what his plan is with this right now. So, obviously, I mean, the options are there. So many different options. You can go for a fast Nidus network. You can go for a very fast Spire, which is not so common in the in this matchup. Now, there's a few different ways you can do this, but I think the way he's going to go for this right now is just going towards Roaches very quickly. A fast +1 upgrade, a fast Roach speed. Seems to be what he's heading towards, so heading towards that. We'll see how this goes. Thank you very much, by the way, Finks Gaming, for the 3-month resub. Do appreciate the 3 months of support and love. Thank you very much for joining us once again. And see some STI hearts in the chat, please, if you guys can. Thank you very much for the 3 months. Do appreciate it. So Roach Warren is about to finish up right here, and the +1 missile attack is starting up as well. I mean, it's as we expect, right? I mean, basically the third base got delayed, and so Doc says, cool, I'll just make faster Roach upgrades. So that's what he's heading into right now. We'll see how effective it turns out to be overall, I suppose. And we're seeing these few Zerglings just backing away from the left-hand side, coming back up towards the upper left a little bit. It's going to be seeing the Void Ray on the way out from Stats. So Void Ray is starting to build. Here we see the Oracle from Stats starting to go across the map. Stargate opening once again. This time he does build something else other than the Oracle. He builds the Void Ray too. And he doesn't go in towards the Twilight Council for the glaive, so it is very different to what we saw last game. Going into a very fast third Nexus now as well, just off of the one gateway, so still setting up in towards this. And as we see the Oracle just moving through and looking to see what's up and what's happening. The 2 Queens are here and they do push the Oracle away. And the couple of Adepts will just do a little bit of damage here and there, picking off a couple of these drones, so... A couple of drones going down, 3 workers killed. Third hatchery's on the way up. I mean, the thing is, what does actually start Scout? Well, he sees the Rotron and he sees the lair. So he has a pretty good idea about this. Doesn't see the Evo, but I think you could probably assume it based on how late the third base is. I would still be a little bit scared of stats of potentially something weird, like, you know, you see a Rotron, it might just be for safety roaches while he goes into some sort of weird tech. He actually just goes for the second Stargate, and you know what, this could work out because Void Rays will do quite well against the roaches. Second Stargate for more Void Rays can definitely work out too, so yeah, this can definitely work out. Let's see. I mean, more Void Rays continue to come on in. The second Stargate finishes up. It looks as though it will just be Void Ray based production to protect against these roaches. There's a Stasis Ward at the front. If this catches just a few of these roaches to slow this down, well, that would be ideal. And there we go. 3 roaches caught. I mean, it's not loads, but it's still going to help out a little bit. The Oracle overhead as well will look to try and add some extra damage to this whenever possible. Prismatic alignment pops, but actually, Void Ray is not actually targeting down the roaches, which is unfortunate, meaning that he doesn't really get as much damage as he maybe could have. As you see those few lings and roaches just backing away. So they do get away. There's the Nidus Network coming down right now from Dark. So Nidus Network is starting on up, and again, I mean, that's something which the fast... I mean, I guess a lair would be up at this sort of point anyway. It's intriguing to see him going into the Nidus then. It is different. I mean, it's been a very different game in general from both players. I mean, we actually see a Fleet Beacon coming down, so stats looking as though he wants to start going towards carriers very soon, and obviously a map you can definitely do this on. 3 bases are pretty much untouchable. The only real weak point is, oh, wow, this very narrow set of rocks at the back. I wonder if he's ever going to watch for those being killed, you know? It's very easy 3 bases to take, and so that's what we're seeing. Just some very fast carriers most likely on the way. Sky Toss coming in from stats here in game number 3. As you see a Revelation coming down. I'm just going to be seeing that actually being popped. There's the Nidus Network, so I mean, this is obviously one of the ways you can try and shut down the Sky Toss play before it even begins with the Nidus. Let's see if it's going to be enough, though. Adepts have warped in already. Over on the natural expansion, some roaches are burrowing through as well. I mean, the entire build order here right now of Dark is very reliant on just getting damage done by, is really just getting damage done before the army count for the Protoss gets too high. But I feel as though he just hasn't realized exactly what this is. I mean, he has seen the earlier Stargates. I mean, he's seen them. He's obviously just confident he can end the game before, like, this becomes too crazy. And you can see roaches on unburrowing places, and, I mean, what do you do as Dark? You're kind of going up against a massive Void Rays. Your roaches aren't really doing enough. What's he got in terms of anti-air? 7 Queens. Well, they're going to come out of this Nidus Network at the front of the base. And it's going to be all or nothing for Dark here very, very shortly. He kills 5 pros with those few roaches in the natural expansion, but that is about it. These roaches are going to pop up as well. We'll kill the high energy sentry. And that's really nice as well, obviously. I mean, less force fields means that he has a bit more freedom as to where he fights. And here we go. Roaches and Queens going to start battling down the front. Ship core here. A couple overcharges will be available. 1 gateway already going down. 2 more voids still in production as well. And there's a do or die moment of Dark. He has to win this game with this fight right now. So here we go, pushing on through. He's going to be seeing these roaches looking to see what if they can make this progress happen for himself. I mean, the pylon goes down the left side. I mean, the gates going down is kind of a big deal as well. Now only 4 gates of production. And I said stats is mostly just focusing on Void Rays right now. As here we go, Void Rays come forwards. There's a lot of spores in the back, which he's just built up as well. If Dark pulls all of these forwards and fights with them, well, that would be a pretty big deal. If you could get these on the front line, get the Queens next to them as well, and really just fight against these Void Rays, well, that could be so magnificent here. 9 more Hydralisks currently building up from Dark. Carapace upgrade on the way. Muscular Augments is on the way as well. And the Spores staying pretty close to the Nidus right now. I guess in a way he does need to make sure the Nidus stays safe. But does he not need some more anti-air kind of towards the front if he really wants to deal with the ever-growing Void Ray number? I feel as though he does. I feel as though his stats is just slowly taking more and more of a lead in this game. A couple of Adepts do shade past, a couple of Lings and Roaches continue to chase down those couple of units right there. So, I mean, Dark doesn't overreact or anything. I mean, for stats, though, it's still nice. He's going to get across the map, see what's up. He sees what's over here. Hydra's come in now as well. Sorry, missed out on the production tab. So the Hydra's going to make a pretty big difference to this, right? I mean, that's definitely going to be some of the anti-air he maybe needs against these Void Rays. Is it going to be enough? I mean, I guess the nice thing is that Dark, by attacking here, is obviously not giving stats the chance to invest into those very long to build and expensive carriers. So that's a nice thing. I mean, he's stopping that from ever happening. Question is, does he have enough against the Void Rays? And that's what we really got to look towards going into these next couple of fights. The Adepts, a few of them getting picked off already. And here we go. Voids are going to commit in, but they're fighting into spores and all sorts. And you know what? Dark is starting to work his way through this army. There's not that many Hydras left over, but there's Queens here as well. And the damage they put out in general is probably going to be enough as the units on the ground start to go down. I mean, in multiple Void Rays have been picked off here. Now Prismatic Alignment disappears. Wasn't making a difference on the Hydras, I guess, anyways. But Dark is pushing through. Void Rays keep on dropping. 2 more Voids from the right-hand side. But Stats is the player who has to GG out. And in the end, Dark is going to make this happen. He takes game number 3. Just like that. Wow. Let's see how this will go down. As Stats spawns in the top right-hand side of the map. The Blue Protoss player from Splice. Stats. And down to the bottom left-hand side, it is going to be the Purple Zerg player. It is Dark. What's up, Frill Element in the chat? Says, hey there, Wardy. Hope your days are going well. Awesome cast. Well, thank you very much, dude. My days are going pretty well. A little bit stressed out because we keep dropping frames, but I mean, it could be worse. We could have a completely completely non-functional computer, which is what we had last week. So, from one issue to the next, we'll make it through. Yeah, I mean, just to talk about that last game a little bit more, because you guys a little bit shocked as I was. I mean, you got to think, I guess, that Dark, he didn't do a lot of damage initially, but also Stats didn't get to do what he was planning for initially as well. And while Dark didn't do a lot of damage initially, he didn't throw away too many units. And the Knights still played out to provide a kind of reinforcement point. And when the real fight really happened, Voids were running into Spore Crawlers, there was lots of Hydras there. You know, I mean, this fight could have been so different. You know, sit back a bit more, get some sentries in the composition, force field a bit more. You know, if you force field that army in half and take a fight closer to your wall and away from the spores, I don't think Dark has a chance. So I think Stats messing up the engagement towards the end more so than anything else. I mean, obviously Dark built the right units and he made the fight happen, but Stats, I think, initiated just a little bit too early. He got a bit too confident. I think that's what perhaps really cost him towards the end of that there. I mean, again, it's one of those things that you don't really know until you see it play out a couple different times. It was a bit of a weird one. Why isn't Mario or TY ever invited? Well, Mario or TY don't seem to have any interest in playing online events. They're very hard to get in contact with, so they are very welcome to play in the qualifiers. They're very welcome to play in the WardiTV weeklies, but our invites are going to be based on players who play in the WardiTV weekly events. Yeah, Mario and TY just don't want to play in these events. They just don't really see the need to, I guess. Like, can you blame them? Well, no, I don't think you can. To be fair, it's I mean, to be fair, it's like, you know, they're great players, and if they don't see the need to play these events, they don't have to. Other players do, and they do play them. Yes, TY and Mario just say they don't want to. I mean, trust me, if I had the way to invite Mario and TY and get them to play, they would play. You know, I would have them in my event. You know, it's not like I don't like Mario. It's not like I don't like TY or SOS or anyone like that. You know, it's just they don't play these online events. Anyways, we starting up here, guys. Twilight Council comes down in the main base from Stats. As we see cross spawns on Cactus Valley. Dark should be pretty happy about this. Cross spawn as a Zerg is generally where you want to be. Hatchery finishes up over on the third base, and we're going to be seeing Pneumatized Carapace coming up to being about halfway done. So Pneumatized Carapace is going to be about halfway done. Glaive's starting up, and Stats kind of going back towards a build he was using a little bit in game number 1, I guess. That Glaive's build order definitely saw some success for him. Wonder how it turns out this time around, though, because obviously he'll do the same sort of thing. He'll harass with the Adepts, and he'll get some damage done and trade out a little bit. My question is, what does Dark do? Does Dark go for that big kind of aggressive follow-up again, like he did in the last game, where he looks just all in off of 35 workers? Or does he, you know, macro up a bit more? Just does he make enough units to defend the Adepts, and then macro, drone up, saturate 3 or 4 bases, and just go from there? I mean, there's a lot of different choices. A lot of different choices as we see these few Zerglings just pulling back down to the bottom left-hand side. Overload around the main base, looking to see what's up, looking to see what's going on. I'm just going to be seeing the Adept here in the center from Stats going on through, and 4 of these Adepts is going to join up in the middle to see what is up. Glaves is 80% the way done. Bane and Nest is finishing shortly, and Yeah, the Banelings will be a good way to defend these Adepts, of course. There's always been a big thing about what's better to defend Adepts with, you know, Banes or Roaches, and people have always had their own preferences. There's been kind of stages where some people think Banes are better and then they think Roaches are better. It just sort of depends on the follow-up you want to play. But now it's just going to be Banes and probably into kind of a Ling Bane follow-up as well. No Evo Chamber just yet or anything. Dark solely focusing on drones, and obviously they're making the units to be able to shut this down. I wonder if... I do get a little bit wonder if he's going to kind of go across the map and counterattack after cleaning up these Adepts, because they die pretty quickly. He doesn't really take much damage. He's going to go into drones though. Okay, so you just make sure he's got enough to... he's just going to, you know, just making sure he's got enough to clean this out. I'm going to see Lings coming across, but there's Sentries and Stalkers here. A couple of force fields will be popped, but won't get any kills. Lings will just have to back away as well. Guys, just want to confirm this and just make it clear. This qualifier is completely open, so anyone can play in this qualifier. And we will invite other players. It's not that they don't understand what we're doing and what we're inviting them to. It's just some players don't want to play in these events. It's just the way it is. Like, I can't really say much more about it. It's like, that's that simple. Some people just don't want to play in these events. Anyways, the drop of Lord apparently didn't do too much. I didn't really see anything happening in the main base. I'm just going to see the Robo Facility and the Forge from stats on the way up at the moment. So, setting up into this Forge Robo. And just going in towards the mid game now. Here he comes out of this in a better position then. I don't think either player really... I mean, because the Adepts didn't do a lot of damage, but what they do is force a lot of units out, and so it keeps the drone count of the Zerg player honest. You know, it keeps them from just going up to 80 workers, 4 bases from a very early stage of the game. So it's a good amount of pressure to force units out, while not being too much of a commitment from you yourself. And you'd see, obviously, stats now start to tech away from that, and wait to see what the next Twilight Council upgrade will be, if he wants to go into Blink or Charge at all. And see if he wants to do that very shortly. You can see these couple of Zerglings getting picked off, so a couple of Lings getting taken down right now. And stats coming through the center of the map, another Zergling getting killed here. And you just see the 1-1 upgrades from Dark continue to come on in. Again, focusing on those melee upgrades initially. Added on the second Diva for the Carapace upgrades too, though, and an Infestation Pit finishing now. So he does have the opportunity to go into a very fast Hive tech, 7-minute Hive. And meanwhile, obviously, Stats is identifying what sort of build this is, and so he drops down the Templar Archives. That's already about halfway done. As these Lings are just going to come in towards the center of the map. I'm just going to be seeing them gathering together and getting ready to go, and Overlord will go over to the right-hand side. And a couple of Lings just from Dark side out here, just looking to see what's up and what's happening. Charge on the way up, +1 on the way. A couple more gateways. And the Hive Tech also coming on down. You can see Burrow coming up as well from Dark, and yeah, just everything just on the way up. I mean, interested to see what comes out of the Hive Tech. Is he going to rush into an Ultra Cavern? He definitely could rush into an Ultra Cavern if he wants to. There's a few different options here. It's interesting. Interested to see what happens. You can see the charge upgrade on the way. Snowstorm is an upgrade as well from stats that's coming into play right now. Oh wow, Swarm Hosts. The thing is, against Swarm Hosts, I feel as though Stats is very well prepared. You know, he's already got Storm. He's going to have the ability to push through waves of Locusts without really any issues. So that's kind of interesting. We're going to be seeing the Pylon coming up at the back. Pylon here to the left-hand side of this Nexus as well. And yeah, an Ultras Cavern just coming up in the main base too. So setting up into this. I'm just going to be seeing the... Storm still on the way up. Yeah, I feel as though this is interesting. And Adrenal Glands Ultras, I mean, it's sort of what we were expecting, I guess, with the melee upgrades and such a fast layer. There's not really anything else you can kind of make, you know, that this can be. And as you see the units coming over to the right-hand side. I'm just going to start running on forwards. Force field coming down. We see Bane's actually going to start connected in, and actually Sentries getting blown up a little bit there. Stats just backing away from this position. More Bane's coming in. How aggressive is Dark going to be off of this just Ling Bane composition? Like, he's doing quite a lot right now. Zeld's just charging into some Banes as well. That's not really good, and Stats is sort of losing out on quite a lot of units. I mean, Lings are just going to keep on swelling forwards here, and Malarkons are now down. There's one more left in the back, but these units are disappearing very quickly. +2 melee isn't even finished yet for Dark. It will be very soon. Is that just going to be the tipping point? I mean, you might not even need it at this point. You just continue to take down units no matter what. continue to pick away at so many of these units. Zealots going down once again. I mean, this Nexus is also going to fall. Well, maybe not just yet. A couple of storms do come down. I mean, that's what he's sort of been missing to help against this Lingbane. The storm, which he invested into, he didn't have any High Templars ready to go in that fight. It was mostly just the Archons. And Dark takes down the 4th base. Stats will immediately rebuild here. He will immediately rebuild. And now we're just going to be seeing these units gathering together once again. Logos are actually on the right-hand side, left-hand side, starting to pick their way through the 3rd Nexus. I mean, that's going to get very low as well. Lings come back in towards the 4th and force to cancel once more. And Ultra's on the way up to try and finish this in the next few moments. Guys, I know the game's lagging. There's nothing I can do about it. It's literally not even on my end anymore. I can't do anything about it. I know it's unwatchable. If you want to bitch and cry, I appreciate that. But it's not going to change anything because there's literally nothing I can do. So I apologize. More High Templar continue to warp in. Some more Zealots as well. You're going to see a lot of Lings going to run on over to the right-hand side. More Banes gathering up together too. And Dark getting ready to keep on pushing forwards in the next couple of moments to try and end this. I mean, to the right-hand side though, now he's going to get pushed away. And yeah, in a way, I mean, I guess we see stats are starting to stabilize a little bit here. But now Ultras join the fray. And what is there against these Ultras? Well, now there's not even that many Archons. There's a lot more High Templar. And that's going to make things very interesting here. First Storm comes down. So the Ultras are really going to help push through this. Here come the Locusts as well. They start to land another Storm to help pick away at these. I mean, yeah, the Ultras. The Locusts go down pretty quick. Overcharge is helping to get rid of the Ultras. To the right-hand side, more Lings once again trying to run on by. Another Storm comes in. Again, what's the answer to these Ultras, though? There's Lings going around all over the place, moving in towards the natural expansion everywhere else. In the main base, Zealots are starting to take some damage as well. I mean, this third is going to die, though, right? Lings in the main too. With Adrenal Glands, they're going to rip things to shreds. With +2 melee also. Lings are just going to do way too much damage. It looks as though Dark is going to have way too much here right now. We're just going to be seeing the Lings and Lings continue to fight right here. So you see the Swarm who's continue to move on forwards. Ultras moving forwards as well. Lings continue to push on in, and that's going to be GG. Stats types out, and Dark taking game number 4.